Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Sunday to you and your family. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Burger and seeing what's going on, of course. Got a lot of requests and, questions about where it's going. Is it shaping up to do something similar to before where we saw some massive increases? Well, that very well could happen, but it's a little early. However, I can help you identify previous patterns and kind of see if there is a chance for this to occur again. So if you are new to the channel, bear this in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, I love teaching people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. Obviously, if you have, let me know. I'd love to hear more about that. Feel free to comment below, and if you want to become a better trader, I have a trading academy, community, and signal group where we all learn and grow together. I send out signals for every single trade that I take. We've been taking some massive profits, short positions, of course, to the downside with Bitcoin and a few others. And honestly, I've left Burger alone completely because it didn't really give us much indication that it's going to want to do this here. So this kind of came out of nowhere, and we want to find out if it's self-sustaining, okay? So we'll check that out and much more. If you are, again, new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me here. That being said, let's go ahead and see what's going on. Here's some standard stuff, okay? So we're going to look at the simple moving averages first and work our way down. We'll also redraw out or just extend the Fibonacci retracement levels based on the fact that it's kind of hanging out in the 0.236, 0.382 range. That's a very, very positive sign, but we need to break above 194 and close above that preferably today. We'll look at that too though. That being said, we can see that we are seeing some rejection here at the 20-day set moving average, which is pretty standard stuff when a price action jumps up this high, retraces and tries again. So it's going to kind of hold the price action in place for the moment, but good news is we're up over the 200 and the 50. Those are both very positive. Same thing with the RSI too. We're back up over 50, but we weren't underneath very long. And this is actually a good sign, really kind of telling us that 50 on the RSI, concurrent here with this trend line at 144, or I think it's 146 rather, is essentially a key level support. So 146 should be the low. You saw a retest here, and it retested a few times once it broke through that as a previous resistance. So again, mostly good stuff there in that sense. The daily does tell us some pretty positive stuff here. A convergence on the MACD is potential as well over the next couple of days. Or sorry, next few days rather. It's probably going to take a little while for that to converge, but generally speaking, telling us that we have more bullish momentum than bearish. Obviously, we can see that. So again, that's pretty good stuff there. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and extend out the Fibonacci retracement and kind of take a look at it here. Okay, because again, these previous patterns are kind of coming to fruition, and just to kind of highlight a couple things here, you can see the 50-day set moving average working as a trend line essentially upwards. Once we broke below that trend line here, it's been down below ever since. Minus right now, we're back up over the 50-day set moving average on the 4-hour. So that's a very positive sign here. Being back up above that, all three key level supports is very, very good. Okay, so the 4-hour so far is looking very nice. We can also see, of course, here based on Fibonacci retracement, just how well the price action continues to work within these ranges. So if you see here, we had a resistance at 146 previously. Price comes up, breaks through 146, comes back down to consolidate and bounce exactly off that level and come back up. Came down again to try, bounced off of 155, the next key level support based on Fibonacci, and continue to work its way up these little levels and kind of work itself into an ascending type of wedge. Now, it could have broke out to the upside there, but I'm glad that it didn't. It had to lose its momentum. That's actually tactically when Bitcoin started to do well. Burger started to decrease because, once again, Bitcoin dominance started to lower. Okay, as Bitcoin dominance comes down, alts kind of take a hit, and Bitcoin essentially increases in value. It's an interesting organism, the way that it works, but that's something on the back end nonetheless. What I'm getting at here is that the 4-hour looks pretty good because we can see the price action come down to consolidate right at this 236 area and then leg up to push right straight through 0.382. So this range that we were stuck within is no longer a range that we're stuck under. You can see the price is consolidating right here at this support. Okay, so again, 194 is a new support, and that's a very, very good sign. We can see RSI at 70 rejecting out initially. This is actually good. We want to see that because when we have these kind of increases here, you have these kind of decreases. Okay, so in order for this to sustain itself, we don't want to see any more legs up for the next 24 hours. It would be awesome if the price goes sideways and then kicks out. In fact, it looks like it might be actually performing a pennant pattern. We'll look at that here shortly, but generally speaking, all signs point up right now, minus the fact that we're overextended on the 4-hour, and that is no surprise, right? 30% in, actually from bottom to top, close to about 40%. So yeah, definitely a sharp increase, which is typically not super healthy. I mean, I'd like to see this spread out a lot further. But the healthy thing about this, even though this increase is not a nice staircase pattern, which I'd like to see, it is effectively a nice pennant type of pattern. Again, this is the 1-hour time frame. We would prefer to see this on larger time frames, But generally speaking, it's absolutely working itself into an area where it could likely break out to the upside, more likely to break up than down, depending on how Bitcoin performs in the next 24 to 48 hours. Keep in mind, we've got a Fed meeting on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. So those days will be a little shifty for Bitcoin. And that could manipulate the market for the alts essentially as well. A lot of folks will take their profits. This could be a profitable coin based on, depending on where somebody got in, right? Specifically the whales is what I'm talking about, not people like you and I. That being said though, if we look at a couple of other things here, why don't we do this here? Let's go ahead and peek at TD sequential. We can see we hit an 8 or 9. We got a reset. So really just kind of telling us that even though this leg up was super significant, we weren't overextended leading into that. So the retracement, I would say, is generally lower. Okay, lower potential there. Ichimoku cloud, big surprise. We're above the cloud. That's pretty standard stuff. But generally speaking, that is a positive sign here as well. Okay, so really if we add up everything together, Burger's looking pretty darn decent here to be able to stay above this level, because in its history, it's come up to key level resistances and got rejected, which there was no specific resistance, just RSI at 70 on the 4 hour. But when it came back down, you could see the price action continues sideways here, and then we have a likelihood of the price action coming back up. It's done that before. Okay, so it's broken through a key level resistance, such as 194. It's coming back down to effectively retest that level and to likely bounce and leg up again. You see the same type of behavior on coins that are in price discovery. I'm not saying we're even close to that, of course. Burger's way off from that, but generally speaking, it's a very common characteristic for a resistance level to be broken, for it to be a new consolidation area, and then for the leg up from there to go higher. Okay, because again, it's establishing itself at this value. Whereas the bears are trying to sell it down, they can't go any further, so the bulls are going to inevitably take control. So that's essentially what we're looking at here. Burger's looking, honestly, all in all, fairly juicy and tasty. What other references can I throw in there? I don't know, but this looks like a good one, honestly. And when I say good, I just mean that the likelihood for an increase from here seems higher based on its previous patterns than it would be to want to go back down. Okay. Just keep in mind, Bitcoin has a bad day. This could all be for nothing. But Bitcoin is still kind of consolidating in a downward trend. It's making lower highs and lower lows. So in that sense, if we think about it, Bitcoin coming down, it's no surprise Burger's going up, because some alts, specifically coins like these, are taking a lot of that market capitalization, the profits that they've been taking from Bitcoin and going into coins like this. Right? They could also likely be a fundamental catalyst that I'm not aware of. We can always assume that that's the case when you see a sharp increase out of nowhere. It's not just technical analysis saying, hey, it's ready to take off. It's a lot of times things that we cannot see on the back end. So just be mindful of that as well, and be cautious and careful, of course. And if you want to become, again, a better trader, you know the site, CryptoCache.tech is the link in the description below. Thank you to all my current community members, of course, for just making my life a better place. And it's just awesome to be able to collaborate and learn and grow with you. Looking forward to our meeting on Tuesday for the Fed rate meeting. Hopefully we can catch that all live together and see what's going on. That being said, hope you have a fantastic one. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.